Picture America at the dawn of a new century. The year is 1890. The Wild West is fading, the electric light is still a novelty, and the heartland hums quietly with the rhythm of change. In a small frame house near the railroad tracks of Denison, Texas, a child is born. No one could have guessed that this baby would grow up to command the greatest military force in history and later guide the free world through its most fragile peace. His name was Dwight David Eisenhower. Dwight was born on October 14, 1890, to David and Ida Eisenhower, humble people of strong faith and simple values. When he was just 2, the family moved to Abilene, Kansas, a quiet town surrounded by wheat fields and open skies. Years later, Eisenhower would say, "The proudest thing I can claim is that I am from Abilene." Life there was hard but honest. The Eisenhower boys, 6 in total, learned early to work, to fight fair, and to stand tall. They chopped wood, hauled water, and played baseball until sunset. His mother, Ida, was gentle but unyielding. A pacifist and devout woman, she taught her sons that strength meant self-control, not domination. It was a lesson young Dwight carried for the rest of his life. Dwight wasn't the brightest student in class, but he had something rarer: discipline. He loved sports, strategy, and above all, military history. He devoured books about Hannibal, Napoleon, and Lee, fascinated not by their victories, but how they made decisions under pressure. After graduating high school, he worked in a creamery to help support his family. But destiny had other plans. In 1911, he was accepted to West Point, the United States Military Academy. There, his leadership qualities began to show. He wasn't loud or arrogant. He led with quiet confidence, earning the respect of classmates who would one day follow him into history. Eisenhower's rise through the ranks was slow, almost invisible. During World War I, he never left American soil. While others fought overseas, he trained tank crews and organized logistics, skills that would later prove invaluable. He spent decades in military obscurity, moving from base to base, building a reputation as a calm, capable organizer. Then came World War II, and with it, his moment. By 1942, Dwight Eisenhower was chosen to lead the Allied forces in Europe. His task was monumental: to unite rival generals, balance egos, and plan an invasion that could change the course of civilization. That invasion would be D-Day, June 6, 1944. On the eve of D-Day, Eisenhower sat alone in his tent, writing 2 letters. One was to announce victory, the other in case of failure. In that second note, he wrote, "If any blame or fault attaches to the attempt, it is mine alone." That single line defines him better than any medal or monument ever could. When the Allies stormed the beaches of Normandy, Eisenhower's calm leadership held the impossible together. His men didn't just follow orders, they followed him. The invasion succeeded. Nazi Germany fell less than a year later. And when peace returned, the boy from Abilene had become a hero to the world. After the war, America needed a unifying figure, someone trusted by both soldiers and civilians, Democrats and Republicans alike. In 1952, Dwight D. Eisenhower ran for president. Reluctantly. He disliked politics, but he loved his country more. He won in a landslide. As 34th President of the United States, Eisenhower governed with the same steady hand that had guided armies. He ended the Korean War, oversaw the creation of the interstate highway system, and balanced the federal budget 3 times. He resisted pressure to escalate conflicts during the Cold War and warned in his farewell address of the growing power of the military-industrial complex. It was the warning of a soldier who had seen too much of war and understood its price better than most. When Eisenhower left office in 1961, he retreated to his beloved farm in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the same battlefield where another great general had once turned the tide of a war. He spent his days painting, writing memoirs, and tending cattle with his wife, Mamie. Visitors often found him humble and kind, quick with the joke, never boastful of the past. But his health began to decline. Years of stress and smoking had taken their toll. In 1955, he suffered his first heart attack, yet continued to serve with dignity until the end of his second term. On March 28, 1969, at the age of 78, Dwight D. Eisenhower passed away at Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C. His last words, spoken softly to his wife, were, "I want to go. God, take me." 3 days later, his body was taken by train to Abilene, Kansas, the place where it all began. Along the tracks, thousands of Americans stood silently as the train passed, saluting the man they called Ike. He was laid to rest at the Eisenhower Presidential Library beside his young son Dowd, who had died in childhood, and his beloved Mamie. From a small railroad town in Texas to the battlefields of Europe, from the Oval Office to the quiet fields of Kansas, Dwight D. Eisenhower's life traced the story of America itself. He was not a man of grand speeches or fiery passions. He was a man of balance, between war and peace, strength and humility, faith and duty. And all of it began on that autumn morning, October 14, 1890, when a modest family welcomed a child into a world that could have never imagined what he would one day become. Today, Eisenhower's boyhood home still stands in Abilene. Visitors walk its narrow halls, where sunlight spills across the old wooden floorboards. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the echoes: a baby's first cry, a mother's lullaby, a father's footsteps across creaking boards. The start of a life that would help steer the course of history. Dwight D. Eisenhower, born October 14, 1890, died March 28, 1969, a soldier, a president, a servant of peace, and proof that even the quietest beginnings can shape the world.